Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1068.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about how travel is booming, according to a U.S. survey. Now, this U.S. travel survey was done by McKinsey and showed that leisure travel is what everybody is saying they're going to do this summer no matter what. They know about late flight departures, they know about plane cancellations, they know about all the inconveniences of travel right now, but they still are committed to travel. And here are some of the responses in this survey, which I thought was really interesting. So first of all, the survey revealed that people are concerned about macroeconomic factors such as inflation, but it was not enough to stop almost 70% of travelers from taking their vacations this summer. And those three words are what they defined their goals for travel: no matter what. Besides the 56% acknowledging that inflation and rising prices were an issue, they also acknowledged that politics and instability were also an issue. That was 37%. 33% said food or supply shortages were acknowledged. 31% said climate change. 30% said war. 24% said CV-19. And 20% said other health issues. But they indicated that they still are going on vacation regardless of high gas prices or prohibitive hotel prices. They're looking for deals. They're going to find a way to cut back on some other things, but continue to have their holiday plans. When asked the question, how do you expect inflation and price increases to impact your travel this summer? 30% said they will travel closer to home. Also 30% said they'll go on a shorter vacation. 26% said they'll eat out at restaurants less often on vacation and instead eat at the hotel for more meals. 23% said they will cut back on activities and excursions. 22% said they will opt for a less expensive hotel. Also 22% said they will drive instead of fly. And a full 29% said they will make no changes to their travel. And it was noted that retirees are especially unlikely to change their vacation plans due to inflation. Those with lower incomes most likely to trade down, which is to opt for a less expensive hotel or to shorten their trip. When looking at different types of accommodations, whether that is searching for a hotel or an Airbnb type of a thing, or an all-inclusive offer, or outdoor glamping options, 78% of travelers surveyed said they are comfortable staying in a hotel. Only 61% are comfortable staying in alternative accommodations. And they gave the top 5 reasons for staying in a hotel, which include consistency and predictability, safety and privacy, convenient location, availability of concierge, lounge and restaurant, and/or other amenities, and lower cost. By comparison, travelers may choose alternative accommodation options as they offer more space, household amenities, and an authentic or local experience. So where are travelers planning to go? Over half are planning to go to the beach, 54%. It was a popular choice among 25 to 34-year-olds. The next most likely destination is a city or urban location, 32%, followed by a mountain/hiking trip, 24%. Now, American Express also did their own travel survey and had a little bit of a different angle to it. They were asking people if they were willing to book a trip for 2022, even if they might have to cancel or modify it later. And 74% said yes. Then they asked respondents if they plan to spend more money on domestic travel or international travel than they have in previous years. 64% said they plan to spend more money on international travel, and 72% said they plan to spend more money on domestic travel. When asked about how many trips they plan to take in 2022, 62% said they plan on taking 2 to 4 trips this year. When asked about traveling to destinations where they can immerse themselves into the local culture, 81% said they were on board for that. 81% also said they agree they want the money they spend while traveling to go back to the local community. And 62% of respondents agree they want to be more thoughtful about where and how they travel. Some of the trends that travelers are focusing on this year include positive practices like wellness activities, giving back to communities, protecting the environment, and more. And some of the top activities that they're interested in doing to have a positive impact on the local community are things like eating and shopping at small businesses, 55%, visiting a landmark or heritage site, 42%, visiting a national park, 40%, visiting a farmer's market, 37%, visiting museums or attending cultural tours, 36%, and partaking in outdoor activities, 34%. Dondra Ritzenthaler, Senior Vice President of Sales for the Americas at Celebrity Cruises, said, "I'm thrilled to notice a trend toward well-being in cruising. After the past 2 years, travelers are ready to venture back out and are planning trips to reconnect with themselves and their loved ones. Travelers are relishing in the most fundamental vacation pleasures like savoring food, spending time with friends in reinvigorating places, finding private tranquil moments for self-care, and rediscovering the world around them." Some of the destinations that people are considering to connect with nature and local communities include a safari in Africa, or heading to a remote rainforest in the Andean Mountains in Ecuador, or visiting a coffee plantation in Costa Rica, or a mountain escape in Canada, such as at Jasper Park Lodge. When asked about family travel, respondents agree they are most looking forward to traveling with their family this year, 79%. They state they plan to travel more with family this year than they did last year, 76%, and they agree they're more interested in multi-generational family trips than ever before, 58%. Frank Passanante, Senior Vice President and Global Head of Sales at Hilton, said the pandemic not only changed the way people travel, it also radically changed people, the way they live their lives, their passions, and their preferences. Reunion, connection, and experiential travel have been driving forces behind the swell of bookings that we're seeing this year. We will keep evolving and innovating alongside the changing needs of travelers, because we don't just want to return to normal, we want to return better. There's also travel planned for major entertainment events. Over half of respondents, 52%, stated they are interested in traveling for personal gatherings such as weddings, birthdays, graduations, or holidays. And according to another survey, there are 7 industry trends that happened in 2022 and they expect to continue beyond. Number 1, consumers demand increased CV-19 safety and cleanliness. Number 2, 17% of respondents were planning a trip by themselves. That number nearly doubled the July 2020 survey, when 30% of people said they were planning a trip on their own. Another site reports that 25% of all American millennials plan to travel by themselves each year. According to Travel Market Report, Intrepid Travel is a small group travel company that plans trips for 75,000 people a year, and their data shows that more than 50% of the travelers booking with them are going alone. The third trend is travelers crave local experiences. They want to pursue authentic experiences, distancing themselves from mainstream tourism providers and venturing into pastimes that feel more meaningful. Data insights company AirSage marks this as an emerging trend because people no longer want boring and conventional travel experiences as much as they used to. Instead, they would rather pay for vacations that are once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. Airbnb is betting on this trend. Also, camping and glamping trips have become a popular way for people to travel while experiencing the local culture and staying safe amidst the pandemic. The fourth trend is travel tech adoption accelerates. As with nearly all businesses, technology is presenting the travel industry with seemingly endless opportunities. Companies have accelerated the digitization of their consumer and supply chain interactions and of their internal operations by 3 to 4 years. One example, room service robots. 2 Chinese hotel giants invested in Excelland, a manufacturer that already had 3,000 robots in operation. They're looking at these robots as a way to control costs and safeguard guests. Other hotels, airlines, and booking sites are using chatbots like never before. Travelers can chat with providers during every stage of their journey, and they won't always feel like they're talking to a robot. Advances in AI have made this type of communication hassle-free. The 5th trend is consumers blend business and leisure travel. The latest statistics say there are nearly 5 million digital nomads in America. The concept of being location independent, traveling and working remotely, has become even more popular since the start of the pandemic. The hospitality industry is starting to cater specifically to digital nomads. Aruba is opening its beaches up to travelers who would like to work remotely, calling the marketing campaign One Happy Workation. Visitors can stay for up to 90 days and do not need any governmental documentation. Barbados and the Cayman Islands will also let you work remotely from paradise for an extended period of time. Booking.com reports that the workation trend is going strong. More than 50% of travelers say they would extend their business trip to enjoy personal time at their destination. The 6th trend is the travel industry gets serious about sustainability. Recent data shows that more than half of U.S. travelers believe there aren't enough options when it comes to sustainable travel. Sustainable travel involves minimizing impact on the local cultural environment and also taking an eco-friendly approach to the physical environment. Nearly 70% of travelers say they are more likely to book accommodations if they know the property is planet-friendly. And number 7, electric air travel goes mainstream. Speaking of sustainability, it looks like flying Teslas are finally here, and they have the potential to make a big impact on at least 3 large industries. The aircraft manufacturing industry, with over $200 billion in annual revenue, between the top 3 manufacturers alone, Boeing, Airbus, and Lockheed. Commercial airlines, with $838 billion in annual revenue pre-COVID, and the ride-hailing and taxi industry, which is valued at $314 billion in 2022. Electric vehicles are cheaper to run, less expensive to maintain, and better for the environment than vehicles powered by conventional fossil fuels. That's just as true for aircraft as it is for cars. When it comes to electric aircraft, there are 2 main types: fixed-wing airplanes and eVTOLs. Fixed-wing electric airplanes are just what they sound like. There aren't any 747-sized electric airliners yet, but smaller commuter planes are in production, and aviation is leading the charge. This startup produces a 620-mile range 9-seat commuter plane called the Alice. According to the company, flying the Alice is dramatically cheaper than a regular internal combustion-powered airplane. For a 100-mile flight, conventional fuel for a similar-sized Cessna would cost about $400. The Aviation's electric Alice would cost only about $10. Aviation recently merged with Sierramont Aerospace after a $108.5 million valuation. The other major kind of electric aircraft is the eVTOL. eVTOL stands for Electric Vertical Takeoff and Landing. Non-electric VTOL examples include anything from helicopters to drones and Harrier jump jets. eVTOLs tend to be smaller than their non-electric cousins and designed for shorter flights across cities. Some look like passenger-carrying quadcopter drones, while others have a fixed-wing component like regular airplanes. In July 2020, Airbus conducted the first public flight of its autonomous 4-seat City Airbus multicopter eVTOL. The City Airbus has a projected range of about 60 miles or 15 minutes. But with all these benefits, why hasn't electric air travel caught on before? 2 words: energy density. In other words, the amount of stored energy in 1 pound of fuel, whether gas, diesel, kerosene, or batteries. Currently, conventional fossil fuels have more energy density than batteries. That's why electric cars are generally heavier than their gas-powered counterparts. They have to be in order to store enough power. So that's it for the top 7 trends driving the travel and tourism industry forward. And the one thing that seems certain is that people want to travel and are going to travel no matter what. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.